student of class 11. Again we are here with a new video, and the chapter we are covering in this video is work, power, energy. So let us understand what is power. The rate of doing work by an agent or a machine is called the power of the agent or the machine. Means rate of doing work, that is work upon time. So power is equal to work upon time, and we can write power as a symbol of P. So this is the average power. Average power is equal to work upon time, and this is the instantaneous power. Instantaneous power is equal to dW by dt, where dW is the work done in a small time interval dt. So this is the instantaneous power, and this is the average power. If the power is constant in the time, then average power and instantaneous power are equal. This is very important. And power is a scalar quantity because work and time both are scalar. We can find the power delivered to a body in the term of force applied to a body and velocity v of the body. Since work done is equal to force into displacement, where F is the force and S is displacement, dW is equal to F dot ds, and this is the dot product. These are two vector quantity and the work done is a scalar quantity. So P is equal to dW by dt. We can write in the place of dW F dot ds. So P is equal to F dot ds by dt, and P is equal to F ds by dt is also called velocity. So we can write P is equal to F dot v, and these two are the vector quantity, and this is the dot product of the force and velocity, or we can say that is two vector quantity, we are getting a scalar, so it is known as dot product. So we can say power of an agent is the dot product of force. Power of an agent is the dot product of the force applied to a body and velocity produced in the body. Means how much power is done by the agent is equal to the product of force applied and velocity produced in that body. How much velocity is produced in the body by applying the force F, we can calculate the power of that machine, of that person, by multiplying the force and velocity. So this is the power. Now since F and V are force and velocity, these two are the vector quantities and the power is a scalar quantity. So the angle between force and vector, if force and velocities are parallel, that is theta is equal to 0 degree. In that case we can write P is equal to Fv, or we can write P is equal to Fv cos theta, and since theta is equal to 0, so cos 0 is equal to 1, so we can write P is equal to Fv. So if force and velocity both are parallel, means in the direction of force applied the body is moving with certain velocity v, in that case the power is equal to Fv. But if F and V are anti-parallel, or we can say that angle between force and velocities are 180 degree, so according to this relation P is equal to F dot V, or we can write F dot V is equal to Fv cos theta, or we know very well that the scalar product of two vector, that is A dot B, is equal to AB cos theta. So AB is the magnitude of these two vector quantity, and theta is the angle between the two vector quantities. So P is equal to F dot V, or we can write F dot V is equal to Fv cos theta. Here theta is 180 degree, and you put the value of 180 degree. Since cos 180 is minus 1, cos 180 is minus 1, so P is equal to Fv. In the place of cos 180 we had written minus 1, so P is equal to minus Fv. that is par come out to be negative. Par come out to be negative. And what is the unit of par? The unit of par we can find from here. P is equal to W upon T, and the unit of work done is joule, time is second, so we can write joule per second. Joule per second is also known as watt. So this is a SI unit of power. SI unit of power is joule per second or watt. So 1 joule per second, 1 joule per second is also known as 1 watt. Now what is kinetic energy? So kinetic energy of a moving body is measured by the amount of work done which has been done in bringing the body from rest position to its present position. Suppose the body is at rest initially, that is u is equal to 0, and after applying some force F, body covers distance s, and at this position the velocity of the body is v, certain velocity v, and the mass of the body is m. Now while covering this distance, the body has the velocity v. So what is the velocity? We can find with the third equation. V square is equal to u square plus 2as. Here u is equal to 0, so we can write v square is equal to 0 plus 2as, or v square is equal to 2as. Since force applied on the body is F, so F is equal to ma. This is Newton's second law, where m is the mass of body and a is acceleration, or we can write a is equal to F by m. A is equal to F by m. Now put the value of a here in this equation. So v square is equal to 2 into, in the place of a we can write F by m, in the place of a, F by m, and s, or you can write, you can take m here, so m v square is equal to 2f into s, or mv square upon 2 is equal to fs, where fs is work done and it is equal to 1 upon 2 mv square. So this is the work done and it is equal to 1 upon 2 mv square. So this work is done which the force F has done on the body in moving it a distance s. When the body covers a distance s by applying this force F, means some amount of work is done on this body to move the body, and the body gains some certain velocity v, and at that instant what is the kinetic energy of the body is half mv square. So we can say the kinetic energy is equal to work done is equal to 1 upon 2 mv square. This is the kinetic energy. So from here, if you see that if you increase the mass of body, if you increase the velocity of body, in both the cases you find that the kinetic energy will increase. Now the question is, there are two body of different mass. Suppose a truck, an empty truck, and a loaded truck. Loaded truck means one truck is empty, it has no load, and one truck is full of load, and both are moving with the same velocity. So if the question is which truck has more kinetic energy, so if you see the relation from here, if you increase the mass, the kinetic energy will increase. So we can say that the loaded truck has more kinetic energy than the empty truck moving with the same velocity. Now next, if both the trucks are loaded and both the trucks are empty, means the mass of the truck is same, but one truck is moving with the velocity and the second also moving with the velocity, but the velocity of second truck is more than the velocity of first truck. So So we can find from this relation that if you increase the velocity, then also the kinetic energy increases. Means if the truck is empty and loaded, in the case both are moving in the same velocity, so a loaded truck have more kinetic energy. And in the second case, if the both truck have same mass but moving with a different velocity, so the more velocity truck is moving have more kinetic energy. So from this relation we can say that more the mass, more the kinetic energy, and more the velocity, more the kinetic energy. But here if you see the relation, the quantity V has a square value, means the kinetic energy will increase more by increasing the velocity. Now K is equal to half mv square. So from this relation it is very clear that if I say that bullet fired from a gun injures seriously than a stone of heavy mass but less velocity. If you compare, the mass of the stone is more but the mass of bullet is very less, and if the bullet is fired from the gun with more velocity than the stone, then it can injure person more than the stone, and that's why the bullet when the fired from the gun injures the person more. So this is the reason hidden behind this concept kinetic energy. We can find the kinetic energy relation with a different method also. With the help of calculus we can find. Suppose that a small work done is dW is equal to F dot ds. F dot ds is a small work done, and force and displacement, they are in the same direction, or we can say theta is equal to 0 degree. So dW is equal to F ds cos 0 or F ds. It is the work done. Now here I just want to say that body displaces in the direction of force, because when theta is equal to 0, it means that where you are applying the force, the body is displaced in their same direction. So that's why we are saying that theta is equal to 0 here. So dW is equal to F ds cos 0, and the value of cos 0 is 1, everyone knows. So we can say that dW is equal to F ds. If A is the acceleration, if A is acceleration produced in the body during the displacement ds, during this displacement ds the body gains acceleration A. Then applying the Newton's second law, F is equal to ma, or you can write m is equal to m in place of A we can write dv by dt, because rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. So in place of A we can write dv by dt. Putting this value, dW is equal to, in place of F we can write m dv by dt. In the place of F we can write m dv by dt in this equation, and in place of ds we can write ds. So this is the work done, dW m dv by dt into ds, or we can say m ds by dt. You can take dv here, or m, since ds by dt is velocity, so we can say mv dv. This is the value of dW, mv dv. In place of ds by dt we had written v, and dv is here. So mv dv I can write here for your convenience. V is equal to ds by dt. Now dW is equal to mv dv. Now to find the total work done, by the force in increasing the velocity of the body from 0 to v. Initially the body is at rest, and after covering a distance, body has gained velocity v. So what is the total work done? So what we have to do, we have to integrate. Means w is equal to limit from 0 to v m dv, or we can write w is equal to m. This is a constant value, so we have taken outside here m, and it is 0 to v and dv. So what is the integration of this? So, w is equal to m, this is v square upon 2 from 0 to v, because it has power 1, so x to the power n को जब हम इंटीग्रेट करेंगे तो इट विल बी x to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1. So here v to the power 1, so 1 plus 1 2, and upon n plus 1 means 1 plus 1 2, so v square upon 2 0 to v. This is the method, this is the way how can we find. Now w is equal to 1 upon 2 m v square. This is the relation for the work done, and it is equal to kinetic energy. This is another way that how can we find the kinetic energy relation with the help of calculus or with the alternative method. Now k is equal to half mv square, dw is equal to f dot ds, and the body is moving in the direction of force, so theta is equal to 0. So cos 0 is equal to 1, so dw is equal to f ds cos 0, that is dw is equal to f ds. And if the body has gained acceleration a in covering the distance ds, so since Newton's second law, f is equal to ma, and in place of m we can have written m, but in place of a we had written dv by dt, and dv by dt means rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. So you put all these value in the equation number 1. dw is equal to m dv by dt, it is value of f and ds. Now solving this equation step by step, you had to find the value of kinetic energy, that is half mv square. Now we are ending here in this video. I just explain what is the kinetic energy and how can you find the relation, what is the meaning of this kinetic energy using the term m and v, how can you relate with each other. So you watch this video, understand the concept what I had given, and revise from your NCERT also, see the questions, see the numerical from the NCERT, and in the next video we will discuss about the potential energy of the spring. Till then, thank you, have a nice day.